Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between rolling hills and quiet streets, there lived a boy named Nathan. He was different from other children, not because he lacked talent or intelligence, but because he possessed something rare, an insatiable curiosity and a heart full of dreams. Nathan would spend hours gazing at the stars, wondering what lay beyond them. He would watch successful people in his town and imagine himself achieving great things. His teachers often said, "Nathan has potential, if only he could channel it properly." But there was one problem, a problem that haunted him day and night. His mind was like a wild storm, never still, never peaceful, always racing from one thought to another. Every morning, Nathan would wake up with determination burning in his chest. Today, he would tell himself, "Today, I will focus. Today, I will study without distraction. Today, I will take one step closer to my dreams." He would sit at his desk, open his books, and for a few minutes, everything would be perfect. But then, a notification on his phone would buzz. A bird would chirp outside the window. A random memory from yesterday would surface, or a worry about tomorrow would creep in. His mind would drift like a leaf in the wind, carried away by every passing breeze. When he tried to complete his homework, his thoughts wandered to the cricket match his friends were playing outside. When he attempted to read, he found himself reading the same paragraph 5 times without understanding a single word. When he tried to practice his goals, laziness wrapped around him like a heavy blanket. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And with each passing day, Nathan felt the weight of wasted time pressing down on his shoulders. He watched other students succeed, not because they were smarter than him, but because they had something he didn't: control over their own minds. Frustration grew inside him like a volcano ready to erupt. "Why can't I do this?" he would ask himself in the darkness of his room. "Why do I start with so much passion and end with nothing? Why does my mind betray me every single time?" His parents were concerned. His teachers were disappointed. But more than anyone else, Nathan was disappointed in himself. The gap between who he was and who he wanted to be seemed to widen with each passing day, and the voice of self-doubt grew louder, whispering that maybe he simply wasn't meant for success. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in shades of orange and gold, Nathan made a decision. He couldn't continue like this. He needed answers. He needed help. He had heard stories about an old wise man who lived on the outskirts of town. People called him the Master of Peace. They said he had answers to questions that troubled the soul, that he could see through confusion and find clarity. With nothing to lose and everything to gain, Nathan walked through the narrow streets, past the marketplace, beyond the fields, until he reached a simple cottage surrounded by a beautiful garden. The old man was sitting under a tree, his eyes closed, his face radiating a calm that Nathan had never seen before. For a moment, Nathan hesitated. Who was he to disturb such peace? But the old man opened his eyes and smiled warmly. "Come, child. Sit. You carry a heavy burden for someone so young." Nathan sat down, and suddenly, all his frustration poured out like water from a broken dam. "Sir," he began, his voice trembling with emotion, "I want to achieve something great in life. I have dreams that wake me up at night, and goals that make my heart race with excitement. But my mind doesn't listen to me. It's like trying to catch smoke with my bare hands. The moment I think I have control, it slips away. I start strong, but finish weak. I make plans, but never follow through. How can I achieve anything when I can't even control my own thoughts? How can I reach my destination when my mind keeps taking me in different directions?" The old man listened patiently, nodding with understanding. When Nathan finished, there was a moment of profound silence. The wise man seemed to be looking not at Nathan, but into him, seeing the struggle that raged beneath the surface. Then, without saying a word, the wise man stood up and walked inside his cottage. He returned with a glass filled to the brim with crystal clear water. He handed it to Nathan and said, "I will give you a simple task. Walk from here to the end of my garden and back. But there's one condition." He pointed to the water. "This glass is completely full. If even a single drop spills, just one tiny drop, you will fail the test. Can you do it?" Nathan looked at the glass, then at the garden path ahead. It seemed simple enough. "Yes, sir. I can do it." The wise man's eyes twinkled with hidden wisdom. "Then begin," he said softly. Nathian started walking. Immediately, he realized this was not as easy as he thought. The glass was so full that the water trembled with every step. He had to move slowly, deliberately, with absolute awareness. His eyes locked onto the glass. His hands became steady. His breathing became controlled. Step by step, he moved forward. A gentle breeze blew, but Nathan didn't look away. A butterfly fluttered past, but Nathan remained focused. In the distance, children were laughing and playing, but Nathan heard nothing except the sound of his own careful footsteps. His entire world shrank to one thing: the glass of water in his hands. Every muscle in his body worked in harmony. His mind, which usually jumped from thought to thought like a restless monkey, became absolutely still. There was no past, no future, only this moment, only this task, only this glass. Minutes felt like hours, but finally, Nathan reached the end of the garden and walked back. He stood before the wise man and carefully placed the glass on a small table. Not a single drop had spilled. Nathan looked up, expecting praise, but the old man simply asked a question. "How did you do it?" Nathan thought for a moment. I focused completely on the glass. I didn't let my mind wander anywhere else. Every step, every movement, every breath, everything was directed toward keeping the water steady." The wise man leaned forward slightly. "And in those moments," he asked gently, "did you think about your problems? Did you worry about your dreams? Did your mind run wild like it usually does?" Nathan's eyes widened as realization dawned. No, it didn't. My mind was completely silent. It was peaceful." A small smile crossed his lips as he understood what had just happened. The old man smiled, a smile that carried the weight of years and the lightness of understanding. "That, my dear Nathan, is the secret of discipline. What you just experienced, that complete focus, that total presence, that absolute control, that is what happens when you discipline your mind." He gestured for Nathan to sit and continued. "Your mind is like a wild horse. If you let it run free without any guidance, it will throw you off, drag you through thorns, and leave you exhausted and lost. But if you train it, if you discipline it with patience and practice, it will carry you to heights you never imagined possible." The wise man picked up the glass again. "This water represents your attention, your mental energy, your focus. Most people go through life spilling their attention everywhere, a little here, a little there, drop by drop, until the glass is empty and they wonder why they achieved nothing. But when you discipline your mind, you hold your attention like you held this glass. You choose where it goes. You decide what deserves your focus and what doesn't. And that, my child, is the difference between those who succeed and those who merely dream of success." Nathan felt something shift inside him, a deep, fundamental understanding that went beyond words. The simple act of carrying water had revealed a truth he had been searching for all along. "But sir," he asked, his voice filled with both hope and uncertainty, "how do I develop this discipline? Today, I focused because you gave me a specific task with immediate consequences. But in daily life, when there's no one watching, when distractions are everywhere, how do I maintain this focus? The wise man's expression became serious, yet kind. That is the real challenge, isn't it? Let me tell you something that might change your life. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's not a gift given to the lucky few. It's a skill, and like any skill, it must be practiced daily until it becomes second nature. The wise man held up one finger. First, understand this. Your mind will resist. It has been running wild for so long that it won't accept control easily. When you sit to study, it will create urgent reasons to check your phone. When you try to work, it will suddenly remember 100 other things you should be doing. This is normal. Don't fight it with force, guide it with patience. He raised a second finger. Second, start small. Don't try to focus for 5 hours on your first day. Start with 20 minutes of undistracted work, then 25, then 30. Like building a muscle, you build your concentration gradually. A third finger went up. Third, create boundaries. Your mind is influenced by your environment. If your phone is next to you while studying, your mind will be drawn to it. If your workspace is cluttered and chaotic, your thoughts will mirror that chaos. Design your environment to support your discipline. The wise man continued, raising a fourth finger. Fourth, develop rituals. Before you begin any important task, take 3 deep breaths. This signals to your mind, now we focus. When distractions arise, acknowledge them without judgment, then gently bring your attention back. Don't criticize yourself for losing focus, simply return to the task. Finally, he raised a 5th finger. And 5th, remember your why. When discipline feels difficult, and it will, remember why you started. Remember your dreams. Remember how it felt when your mind wandered and you achieved nothing. Remember how it felt just now when you walked with complete focus. That memory will fuel your discipline. Nathan absorbed every word, committing them to memory as if his life depended on it, because in many ways, it did. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the garden, Nathan thanked the wise man with tears in his eyes and walked home with a new sense of purpose. That night, he couldn't sleep, not from anxiety this time, but from excitement. He had finally found the answer he'd been searching for. The next morning, Nathan began his journey of discipline. And let me tell you, it was not easy, not even close. On the first day, he sat to study for 30 minutes. After 12 minutes, he felt an overwhelming urge to check social media. His hand reached for his phone automatically, but then he remembered the glass of water. He closed his eyes, took 3 deep breaths, and brought his attention back to his book. It was hard, but he did it. Those remaining 18 minutes felt like a victory. On the 3rd day, his friends called him to play. The old Nathan would have immediately abandoned his studies. But this time, he said, "Give me 1 hour. After I finish this chapter, I'll join you." His friends were surprised, but Nathan felt a small spark of pride growing within him. On the 7th day, he failed. He wasted an entire afternoon watching random videos online. Disappointment threatened to overwhelm him. The voice of self-doubt returned, whispering that he would never change, that he was destined to fail. But instead of giving up, he remembered the wise man's words. Don't criticize yourself, simply return to the task. The next morning, he started again, and this time, the failure felt less like an ending and more like a lesson. Week by week, something remarkable happened. The 20 minutes of focus became 40. The 40 became 60. The moments of distraction became fewer and farther between. Nathan discovered something profound. When he disciplined his mind for his studies, discipline seeped into other areas of his life, like water soaking into dry ground. He started waking up earlier, greeting each day with intention rather than dread. He began exercising regularly, discovering that physical discipline strengthened mental discipline. He managed his time better, no longer letting hours slip away into nothingness. He even noticed his relationships improving because he was fully present in conversations instead of mentally absent, his mind always somewhere else. His grades improved. His confidence grew. His teachers noticed the change, commenting on his transformation. His parents saw it too, the worry in their eyes replaced by pride. But more importantly, Nathan felt it, a deep sense of self-respect that comes only from keeping promises you make to yourself. Months turned into years. The boy who once couldn't focus for 5 minutes became the top student in his school. But he didn't stop there. Nathan applied the same discipline to every challenge he faced. When he went to college, while others struggled with the new freedom and distractions, Nathan thrived. He knew how to manage his time, how to focus amid chaos, how to stay committed when motivation faded. When he started his career, while others complained about stress and overwhelm, Nathan remained calm and focused, approaching each task with the same deliberate attention he had once given to a glass of water. He became a leader, not because he was the smartest or the most talented, but because he had mastered something more valuable: control over his own mind. People began seeking his advice, drawn to the quiet confidence and effectiveness that seemed to radiate from him. "How do you manage everything?" they would ask. "How do you stay so focused? What's your secret? Were you always like this?" And Nathan would smile, the same smile the wise man had given him years ago, and he would share his story. He never pretended to be perfect or to have all the answers. Instead, he spoke honestly about his struggles, about the boy he used to be, about the day everything changed in a garden with a glass of water. "Success," Nathan would say, "is not about talent alone. The world is full of talented people who never achieve their potential. Success is not about luck. Though luck may open doors, discipline is what makes you ready to walk through them. Success is about disciplining your mind. It's about training yourself to focus on what truly matters and ignore what doesn't. It's about making your mind your servant instead of being its slave." He would often share the lesson of the glass of water, watching as people's eyes lit up with understanding, the same way his had years ago. "A disciplined mind," he would conclude, "can turn dreams into reality. But an undisciplined mind will turn even reality into dust. The choice is yours." But there was something even more profound that Nathan learned over the years, something the wise man had known but let him discover on his own. Discipline isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's not about grinding until you break or sacrificing everything you enjoy. That's not discipline, that's self-punishment, and it never lasts. True discipline is self-love in action. It's caring enough about your future to make choices today that your future self will thank you for. It's gentle but firm, patient but persistent. Think about it this way. When you discipline your mind to study instead of scrolling mindlessly, you're not punishing yourself. You're giving yourself the gift of knowledge and growth. When you discipline yourself to exercise instead of being lazy, you're not suffering. You're investing in your health and vitality. When you discipline your thoughts to be positive instead of negative, you're not restricting yourself. You're choosing peace over chaos. Discipline is freedom in disguise. It seems like restriction, but it's actually liberation. Liberation from the tyranny of impulses, from the prison of procrastination, from the cage of wasted potential. Nathan understood this deeply. His discipline didn't make his life smaller. It made it infinitely bigger. It gave him the freedom to pursue his dreams, the clarity to see what truly mattered, and the strength to overcome obstacles that would have defeated his younger self. Now, let me ask you something. Are you like the old Nathan? Do you start with passion but end with nothing? Do you make plans that never materialize? Do you have dreams that feel impossibly far away? Does your mind betray you just when you need it most? If you do, I want you to know something important. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not lacking in intelligence or potential. You simply haven't trained your mind yet. Your mind is like a supercomputer, but without proper programming, it runs random processes that lead nowhere. With discipline, you become the programmer. You decide what thoughts to process, what actions to take, what habits to build. The power has always been within you, waiting to be unlocked. Imagine this. What if, starting today, you could focus for just 30 minutes without distraction? What could you accomplish in those 30 minutes? What if you did that every day for a month, for a year? The math is simple but stunning. 30 focused minutes a day equals 182 hours a year. That's almost 23 full working days of pure, undistracted focus. In 5 years, that's 114 days. Imagine what you could learn, create, or achieve with 114 days of laser focus. You could master a new language, build a business, write a book, develop a skill that changes your career, or transform your health completely. But most people never experience even 30 minutes of true focus in their entire lives. They're always partially distracted, partially present, partially alive. They live in a fog of divided attention, wondering why their dreams remain dreams. Don't be most people. Here's what I challenge you to do, starting right now. Tomorrow morning, find a glass. Fill it with water, right to the brim, just like in Nathan's story. Walk across your room without spilling a drop. Feel what complete focus feels like. Notice how your mind becomes still when you give it a clear, immediate task. Notice how everything else fades away. Your worries, your distractions, your doubts, and all that remains is you and the task at hand. Then, use that same focus for your work. Whether you're a student, a professional, an entrepreneur, or someone searching for purpose, give yourself one task and 30 minutes of complete focus. No phone, no distractions, no excuses. Just you, your task, and your disciplined mind. Will it be hard? Yes. Will you want to quit? Probably. Will your mind resist and create 1,000 reasons why you should stop? Absolutely. But will it be worth it? Without a doubt. Because on the other side of discipline lies everything you've ever wanted, every goal you've dreamed of, every version of yourself you've imagined becoming, every achievement you've desired, every level of success you've pictured in your quiet moments of hope. They're all waiting for you, just beyond the bridge of discipline. The distance between who you are and who you want to be is measured not in years or luck, but in disciplined actions repeated daily. Remember Nathan's story. Remember that he was ordinary, just like you, just like me. He had the same struggles, the same distractions, the same doubts. He felt the same frustration of a mind that wouldn't obey, the same disappointment of goals unmet, the same fear that maybe he simply wasn't capable. The only difference between the old Nathan and the successful Nathan was not talent, not luck, not privilege, not some special gift he was born with. It was discipline. It was the decision to take control of his mind and train it, day by day, moment by moment, choice by choice. Your mind is your greatest power, but it can also be your greatest enemy if you don't take control. The battle for your future is won or lost in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you choose focus over distraction, when you choose discipline over impulse, when you choose your dreams over your comfort. Every single day, you're either building the life you want or destroying it, one choice at a time, one thought at a time, one action at a time. There is no neutral ground. Every moment you let your mind wander unchecked, you move away from your goals. Every moment you practice focus, you move toward them. The accumulation of these tiny choices creates the trajectory of your entire life. So what will you choose? Will you let your mind run wild like an untamed horse, dragging you through life randomly, taking you wherever impulse leads? Or will you take the reins, train it with patience and persistence, and ride it toward your destiny? The wise man is not coming to save you. The glass of water is already in your hands. The garden path is laid out before you. The test has already begun. Now walk, focus, discipline your mind, and watch as your entire life transforms before your eyes. Because just like Nathian, if you learn to discipline your mind, there is no dream too big, no goal too far, and no version of yourself too great to achieve. The boy who once couldn't focus became a leader. The student who once failed became a teacher. The person who once felt powerless became powerful. Not through magic, not through luck, but through the simple, profound practice of mental discipline. Your journey begins now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect, when you feel motivated, when the stars align, or when life becomes easier. Now, today, this moment. Discipline your mind and change your life forever. Remember, a disciplined mind can turn dreams into reality. An undisciplined mind will turn even reality into dust. The choice and the power has always been yours. The question is not whether you can change, but whether you will. Nathian's story is not unique, it's universal. It's the story of every person who ever achieved something meaningful. And it can be your story too. All you need to do is take that first step, carry that glass of water, focus for those 30 minutes, and begin the journey from who you are to who you're meant to be. The path is clear. The method is proven. The only missing ingredient is your decision to begin. So begin, right now. Your future self is waiting, and they're counting on you to take this first step. Don't let them down. Discipline your mind and watch miracles unfold.